Welcome back to the recap room. We got episode 14.
14, baby.
1-4, right? Is that true? 1-4. What? Say that again. Say that again. 1-4.
1-4.
Why are you saying it like that?
Yeah, what's that mean?
Is that your rapper name? Sasha 1-4?
Sasha 1-5-5.
What's up, Gordy?
What's up, baby?
How you doing? I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yes,
Actually,
you did.
I saw you.
You saw me Saturday.
That's true. We saw each other Saturday. It feels like it was eons ago. That's why.
Yeah.
My voice,
they went to a concert without me.
My voice my voice is a little hoarse because we were at Nickelback and I was screaming for a solid hour and a half.
That was crazy. That was a lot of fun. Appreciate that invite. Thank you, Cap.
It was a great time.
Yeah,
it was Country
thank
Thunder.
you,
It was
Kaplan.
Country Thunder weekend. We had Gordy up there on Saturday. Sasha came up on Sunday. And it was a whole recap outing, but we couldn't come at the same time because, as you know, if you listen, two of us need to be here at once. So we can only have one person theoretically, or we at least need to have one person here at all times.
Yeah.
Two people can be away, but I can't have all three of us just, at least during busy season.
Yes.
Maybe in like 2 months we can do like a recap vacation somewhere.
He's going to say this, and then the time's going to come, and he's going to be
know.
like, no.
I'm like,
One of
no,
us
it's
got to
just-
be here.
Yeah, recap vacation to Hooters.
Yeah, the Hooters.
The wings are unbelievable.
Yeah, they do have really good wings.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, though. Like, everybody says that, but I also, like, can't tell if everyone's joking.
No, they
There's
do.
just,
They
like,
do.
No, the wings
you know?
are really good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Chicken breasts.
Yeah, that's what you go there for.
Cody's face right now, he's like a little child.
Okay, but low-key, wings are probably one of my favorite foods.
Actually?
Yeah,
Not
I
even
love
close to
wings.
mine.
I like wings too, but definitely
Not
not,
even
my
close.
favorite.
They're
I
too
never
spillable.
get them, though.
It's like you're eating
Yeah.
and you're like, it's all over here.
Okay, well, I didn't
all
say it
over
was
here.
easy to eat. I like
Dude, girls who
eating
eat wings. Ooh. Scares me.
Yeah, it does scare
Scares
me.
me.
Yeah,
Yo,
dude,
bone
stay
in
away.
wings.
Don't.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's
I'm
crazy.
a bone-in gal.
Yeah, well, that's a wing, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't think bone. I think if you're
Boneless
going,
is a chicken finger.
yeah, if you're going there and getting boneless wings, like
Trust
that's,
treat? I'm a boneless guy.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you can eat it with a fork. and
Yeah, but you're
you
a
don't
little.
have to touch
That's a
it.
fucking...
Oh,
Whoa.
Okay, penalty. 2
That was
minute
a-
penalty box for the F word.
That was...
Where did that
Where
come
did that
from?
come? All I was talking about was a wing, and you go,
She's gonna start. She's gonna kick you later. Dude.
holy.
She's getting aggressive about her
Holy.
wings. Don't get between this woman and a 12 count. Let me tell you. Jeez. Oh God.
This is the local at your Buffalo Wild Wings over here,
Yeah.
sitting at the bar.
It's a freaking chicken finger.
It's not.
Now, you know what? You've lost all credibility after that, so I don't
Yeah,
even care.
you're out, it's out the window.
Okay, anyway.
Cap, I gotta say though,
What?
I like the
You're like, oh yeah, I didn't
Look
even.
at his
I
little
forgot.
man
I have a
bun.
man bun in.
Not
I've been
man
liking
bun.
it. What?
You're not a man bun guy. You're a samurai guy. You look like a samurai.
Do you think that's what this is? Well, it's because my hair is too curly. Like my hair is long, but it's also curly, so it's hard to like. It doesn't really like bun. And more
It'll
so.
bun once it gets long enough.
Yeah, once it's.
He's in the awkward
I'm in the
stages.
awkward stage. I'm going through.
Yeah.
I'm going through hair length puberty right now.
I just went through
So
puberty
it's-
last week.
yeah. Well, you're.
I still
you're
haven't grown though. Like it's crazy.
But once it gets past
can't
this,
hear this
once it gets past this awkward stage, then.
Are you
ladies,
rocking like long hair?
I'm on the market.
Like, are you gonna like
I
now
want him
start
to
tying
rock
up your
long
hair?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll look good.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
get used to that.
I mean,
you
I
know
don't
what?
know. I've
But
been liking
respect
it. I've been getting mixed feedback, but overall, honestly, regardless of the style aspect, it's just nice not having, like, I just wake up, I'll put a little, product in on the sides, and then just throw that thing up there, and I don't have to worry about it. It's out of my eyes when I'm running, when I'm
Yeah.
working out. I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
getting in my face.
You do
know.
have longer. You do have like that long.
Yeah, I
hair.
have that, but I think I look good. I mean,
I think it's good.
I don't think it looked bad.
Should I do a man bun? I can't.
Listen,
No. Your hair is an
I don't think
afro.
my hair doesn't move. I
Man,
don't even wash
how
it.
would
Your
Dude,
hair literally doesn't move.
Gordy's hair is like Velcro.
Yeah, it doesn't move. I
Gordy-
shower, it doesn't get
Like
wet.
Gordy's hair is literally
It
like a
just stays
Velcro
like
strip.
this.
It literally, it
Yeah.
doesn't move.
If I grow it out, I'm
But
like,
what's
it's like a chia
funny,
pet.
Your
Yeah,
your
it is.
sister has like straight hair, right? Or does
We're
she-
not biologically related.
That's what he tells people, but they absolutely are.
Not even close. Yeah, my mom's hair.
Your
Like,
mom's hair is not that curly
Yeah, it
either.
is.
Not that curly.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Gordy's
Gordy-
like it's literally doesn't
Yeah,
move. Do you have
it
any
doesn't.
product in there?
I put coconut oil in there because it keeps it like during hot buns.
Because
frizzy.
he's been listening to Liver King too much.
He's great.
No, he would put beef tallow in his hair probably.
I do.
And put on his, you know what? He'd put those on it too.
Of course I do.
Yeah, smart man. Well, let's get into the episode. Today, I think we should talk a little bit about. Well, not I think. This is an idea that Sasha and Gordy had. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
That's right.
But kind of getting into different things that like we've picked up along the way of being in the real estate business of like things that before, because we're in the business, right? So there's so many things that we take for granted as knowledge that we're like, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody knows that.
Yeah, but I think we've come to be like surprised with what people don't know. And I'm not that surprised because I didn't know anything.
Exactly. So you just have to literally like think about yourself before you got in the business. For you guys, that was, what are you gonna spill? Get away. And she's got coffee in her mouth. If she starts laughing, it's gonna be like SeaWorld in here.
Dude, why is it like my table? I put my phone on here.
Face Gordy if you're gonna spill. Oh my! If you're gonna spit out that coffee,
dude,
face Gordy. It's not getting on me.
This is my table, and there's like coffee, glasses, and lip gloss,
sugar lips.
Yeah, Laneige.
First of all, it's not your table.
Laneige.
Well, I mean, I put my stuff on here first. I don't have a table. Laneige.
Okay, well,
Laneige.
this is actually a makeup tutorial.
Is it Laneige?
I don't know. Laneige?
Laneige.
It's not Riri's brand?
No.
Oh, what's Riri's
That's
brand?
Fenty.
Fenty.
Right?
I don't know, dude.
Why were you asking us? You think we know?
I went through the makeup aisle with my sister at Target. It's ridiculous. Everything is so overpriced though in that aisle.
In the makeup aisle?
It's not overpriced. That's just what it is. Guess how much this is?
Like probably $100.
No, it's like $30.
For that little thing?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Insane.
I would rip through that in a day. What is that?
What
lip
is
gloss?
It's like lip balm.
Balm? What's the difference between lip gloss and lip balm?
Like it's not for like looks. It's more for like hydration.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah,
Well, can I tell you what helps with hydration? Just put some water on that.
Yeah.
That's free.
Yeah.
This is $30
I
for...
could also just use like Aquaphor, but anyway, moving on.
I'd rather spend $30 on this little thing that runs out in 2 days.
They just don't understand. They
No,
don't
we
understand.
don't. We're uncultured.
You know what?
This is also a vape,
that's
actually.
one thing I didn't know before being in the REKAP group is how expensive these makeup things are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Do you want me to? You know what? I'll just come to work
Perfect.
with nothing.
Perfect. No makeup.
Isn't it looking the
I
part
hate it.
half the battle is what you say?
Yeah, but looking part that doesn't mean you have to put on makeup. Just
Who
show
cares?
up.
What's
Showing
wrong
up.
with that?
I'm gonna
showing up
start
is-
doing that.
Showing up is the other half.
And he's
Yes.
gonna regret that.
No, I'm not.
He's gonna be like, this girl.
I'm gonna be
looks
like,
crazy.
I'm gonna be like, oh, who is that? Gordy.
Okay, back to this. So yeah,
You start us off with one thing that you're like, that you learn that you're like, oh damn, like I did not know that before getting into the business. Now it's like
common knowledge.
common knowledge for you,
Yeah. Oh, for me. Okay.
but not common knowledge maybe for somebody in the audience.
I feel like I knew this somewhat before getting into the business, and this might be just like pretty much common knowledge for everybody, but I get this question so often to the point where I'm like, okay, actually, like nobody knows. But our compensation, like the way we get our structure, like the way
Big facts.
we get paid. I think a lot of people come to me and they're like, oh, well, how much do I owe you? Well, the structure is changing a little bit now, but from what it's been to this up to this point has been where we get paid out by the landlord when you sign with us. If it's like a rental deal or if you buy a place, you know, we get some of the
We
a
negotiate
percent of that commission.
percentage.
But like, for example, some people will be like, oh, so you get like a percentage on our monthly rent every month?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
No.
just for one of the
wish I
months.
did. I wish I
I
did.
wish that was the case. But I get that question so often to the point where I'm like, okay, people really have no idea how I
No,
get paid. And we are not salary structured. So we are commission only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that was just
You eat
one thing.
You eat what you kill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, people have no clue how we're paid. I think this whole NAR lawsuit settlement going into effect August 17th. We already did an episode about it, but I think that it's gonna be good because it's gonna give people an idea. Like you're gonna know before working with a real estate agent exactly what they're being compensated and how they're being compensated for it. Because before, I mean, yeah, I remember when I was working with an agent to find an apartment. Remember that girl that helped us, that took us on tours when we were.
Yeah.
I was like asking my dad, because my dad got connected with her through somebody that he knew. And this was obviously before I got my license. I would have been like, Dad, come on, let me do the business. No, son. I'm using somebody who knows what they're doing. No. But I was like, she was taking us around, sent us an application. We signed the lease. And I'm like, Dad, like, don't we need to pay her?
Yeah.
Or like, how is this?
Yeah.
Like, I had no clue how she was getting paid. My dad was like, no, like, I'm pretty sure that the landlord's paying her, like, she didn't ask for money. So therefore, if they're not asking for money, like, I'm assuming it's not a charity. This isn't Orphans of the Storm. I mean, like,
Oh my gosh.
She gets paid in Monopoly money.
yeah,
Oh my God.
I don't know why,
Yeah.
but it didn't make any sense to me. Now I think it's going to be and we're making an effort now with all of our clients to make it very clear from day one exactly how we're getting paid, and if we're not getting paid from the landlord side, how we're going to get paid from them, because, like I said earlier, we're not a charity. As much as I would love to do charity work, I'm not at a point in my life where I can just sit there and volunteer my time. yet.
No. But I will say there are, like, with what we're kind of doing now with the structure with the NAR lawsuit, where we're really upfront with, like, our compensation, like, off the bat. It can be an awkward conversation.
Oh, yeah.
It is an
Yeah.
awkward conversation. But
Not awkward for me, though. I don't give a crap.
I know you don't.
I
am
really
like,
don't.
I don't think it's that awkward though. I think when you fully disclose
first
something,
few times is awkward.
Yeah, the first time I was nervous.
The first time I actually, it was like, I
just don't
but a lot
understand
of
why
people are like, what do you, oh, you just go on tours. Oh.
But like
I can do
this
that.
is where I push back on that, because I'm like, all right, like, why is it that we can't be upfront and ask for money for work? Like, anybody else who wakes up and goes to work,
Think about like a GC.
whatever.
anything.
Think about literally any other job. What
Yeah.
job? Like, anybody listening, you have a job. Do you wake up and go to work and say, okay, yeah, today I'm going to go work for free and hope I get paid?
Yeah.
No, you wake up, you go to work, and you get paid for your work.
Yeah.
There's obviously, with the fact that it's commission-based, adds a little bit of level of like, yeah, you know the risk you're getting into. But at the end of the day, like, just because you're a commission-based job doesn't mean you don't deserve to be paid.
Yeah.
And for 50% of the work we were doing, we weren't getting paid. So, you know, I have no problem telling people what the quote-unquote fee is for our services. And if that fee is not paid for by the landlord or by the seller, then it's going to have to be compensated directly from you. And if you don't feel like what we're providing is of enough value, then you're not our client. It's really that simple.
Well said.
I think it's good
You're not
though.
the client for
I
us.
think people actually like it. I've had a lot of
And I don't
positive feedback from
For
it.
sure.
Because I've had people say, "Oh, it's nice to see it in writing and like how everything breaks down and
Yeah.
like in this situation what happens here or whatnot." So it's good and it's a profession. Like it's like when you go do your taxes, like what? Someone's just gonna do it for free. For
Yeah,
you?
I mean, you can go to TurboTax and do it for $99. You can go to an
But you're still
accountant.
paying. Like,
you can
you know
go
what
to
I'm
an
saying?
accountant, or you could. I mean, there's no reason you can't do your taxes yourself. People do it all the time to
Yeah.
save themselves money.
100%.
We're just a service, and if you don't find our services to be of value to you, then you don't need to use them. I'm not holding a gun to your head and
Totally.
saying you need to go to REKAP group to find an apartment or
But
buy
he probably is.
Yeah.
properties.
If you don't use me, I'm gonna talk about my height every episode.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's already done that.
If you don't,
and I want to smack
if you
him in
don't
the
use
face.
me, I'll just cry myself to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will actually probably
Sasha
do that.
might.
If you don't use me, I'll just grow out my beard and I'll never shave it again. Like
Oh,
I'll just
God.
be like Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah.
It would be like Dumbledore.
Oh, that's the guy. I was like mixed up my guys.
Oh my gosh. But no, I think the best part about it, to sum this little snippet up, we'll move on to something else after this. But like, the good part about us being upfront with our compensation like from the get-go is that we also like outline all the duties that we're responsible like for doing for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what we're going to do for you, which is, I think we didn't do that before, where I was like, hey, this is what I'm going to do for you. And then this is what I expect from you in return, which is like that, like the compensation structure. which I think is good because then it outlines exactly what we're going to be doing for you.
Well, it's a business relationship. Emphasis on the word relationship. And what is a relationship? That means two parties have to pull their own goddamn weight.
Yeah.
Not saying like you have to go out there and be doing as much as we're doing. We're doing the legwork. But just because you're the client doesn't mean you just sit there and be like, all right, they're going to literally
Well, you're paying for the place.
Yeah.
If I was something like, at the end of the day, it's your decision.
Yeah.
I'm just guiding you along and giving you a direction.
Right.
And I'm giving you my professional advice.
Exactly. So I could tell you to do all these things and I can give you my advice. And that's really what you're paying for, or a big part of it. But if you're not going to take the advice, then
you can do it on your own.
Yeah, then do it on your own.
But I think
then be single and do it on your own.
Dude.
Yeah, like Gordy over there.
I can't. Gordy's hanging out by a thread right now.
No, I'm not. I'm my new lover is Ninja Creamy.
Yeah.
Tips and tricks I just learned in real estate. You can make your own ice cream at home.
There's nothing
I think
to do with
another thing, like kind of moving out of like, just like broker like facts, I think we can talk about just like how the buildings are structured out here.
Yeah.
So like, for example, there's a lot of condo buildings in Chicago.
Yeah.
A lot of these condo buildings, I think some people are unaware that they have a rental cap on them.
Yeah, there's so many restrictions. That's why
a lot of restrictions that I had no idea about.
Me neither.
I know also like some rent, like what are the like managed buildings? Like 20% of the managed buildings like have to be like affordable housing too.
like new construction over
New
a certain
construction,
Yeah, that's
right?
just get like permits and stuff.
Yeah, there's so many different rules and regulations that comes into play with these buildings that like when you're online and you hear and you're scrolling on TikTok and you're scrolling on Instagram
on Vine
and you're scrolling on Tumblr and Vine. Gordy's been frozen in an ice chamber since 2000.
Where are the Blockbusters at?
Gordy just found out who Haley Bieber was. So
I still go to Walgreens to the Red Box to get my movies.
He doesn't know how to log into Netflix.
he still thinks Blockbuster's here. So.
Yeah.
It is. I still have my Blockbuster rentals. I never returned them.
It's a good thing they went bankrupt. Otherwise, your tab would be about $6,850.
Yeah.
But like when you're looking at these people and they're like, you just buy a property and then you live in it and then you rent it out. And it's like, yeah, that works, but it doesn't necessarily work in every area. And especially in Chicago, like say you're like, you don't know how many calls I get from people that say, I want to buy a condo, a cheap one. Typically, I want to buy a cheap condo. I want to live in it for a year, and then I just want to collect passive income on it. Then I just want to move out and collect passive income.
And you know what? I was probably one of those people.
Yeah, and like why do they? And it's not. And I'm not making fun of them because it's the right mentality.
That's exactly what I thought.
It's the right
too.
mentality to have. Like you should be thinking long term and like how can I plan for my future. But you're not going to be able. It's not as simple as just doing that in a Chicago condo where. You know, there's going to be a certain percentage of the rental units or a certain percent of the units that can be rented at once. And once you're at that threshold, now you go on a wait list. It's also sometimes you need to own the unit for 1 to 5 years before you're able to rent it. They may not allow rentals at all.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to look into these things.
You have to look into these things. And on top of that, like, it's just there's a lot more nuance that comes into play, which is why it's important to use somebody who's a specialist in what you're actually doing. Like for me, I think like our group is really good on like the rental and investment side of things because rentals, we're doing more rental transactions than probably 99.9% of agents in the city and 99.9% of teams. So like when it comes to rentals, I think we know it like the back of our hands. And then when it comes to investments, it's also something that I think that maybe I'm a little bit more knowledgeable in than you guys just from doing it longer. But at the same time, the reason the value of these of investment properties is a lot derived from the rental income. So understanding like they both kind of work in tandem with each other. And so, yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. But there's so much nuance that goes into every single thing that you're buying and every transaction that you're doing.
Well, in those condo buildings, kind of going off that, like the ones off of Lake Shore, you see those get new construction every 50 years. And we're coming up on that, so it's something you should know, especially if you're like looking to buy a unit in that.
Like they're fixing them up.
Yeah, correct. Like they're gonna.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I just learned this yesterday actually, And it's kind of something I'm like, okay, like you should know that going into it, because if you have a
Every
client,
50 years, it's going to happen once in your lifetime, or maybe twice.
no,
and maybe
regardless,
it's
but
big.
if you're looking to
I
buy
don't
right
even know what
now,
that-
though,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's a big,
true.
it's a big deal.
You can keep you got to keep tabs on when it's happening.
Like it's a very small, like minuscule detail, but like if it comes up and you're
Well,
like, wait,
and
what?
these buildings have what's called like reserves. So each building has what's
That's what
called
I
a
was
reserve account, which is basically like the building's savings account. And if they, maybe every 50 years they're doing like the big whatever, but there's still things that go wrong and they need a new roof, they need to do this, they pull from the reserves. If they don't have enough to pull from the reserves and keep it like with enough money in that account, they're going to slap on what's called a special assessment.
Yeah.
The special assessment means this is another reason why it's like I'm just going to go buy property, and like this is why I personally think condos are not very good investments at all. By and large, this is me speaking generally. I think condos are maybe a good place to live, like if you're buying to live in it and like hold
Hot
some
take,
value. But like I don't think condos in Chicago are a very good investment if that's what you're looking to do with it. Because I mean, what happens 5 years in, all right, or 2 years in, or 1 year in, all right, we need a new roof and we don't have enough money in reserves to afford it. Mm-hmm. Now you get slapped with a $25,000 or $10,000 or whatever special assessment that you're responsible for.
Yep.
And like these are all.
But that's what goes hand in hand with that construction, is those special assessments are happening to a lot of the people that are living in them, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like they couldn't, like, and it's expensive, and it's more than 25 grand. It could be
Yeah.
up to 60 grand.
Yeah.
You would be shocked.
Yeah. So it
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
Oh my
slapped
gosh.
with them and you have to pay them.
Because
and then they're like, all right, well, I'm not going to pay it. I'm going to sell it. Well, that's going to come up during the sale process. The buyer's going to figure it out and say, no, I won't buy this unless you pay for it. So it's like you're paying
Someone's
for it.
paying for it.
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
well,
That's what I say.
Drink every time
No.
Kaplan has a saying.
Drink every time Kaplan has a saying.
Goes
but it's
for
true.
every
There's nothing's
podcast.
free. Nothing's free. I don't think people understand that.
Nothing.
Nothing is
You're
free.
paying
Not
for it
even
with
water.
either your time or your money or
Well,
something.
it's somebody somehow, some way is paying for it.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It didn't
You
just come
sound
on.
like my high school econ teacher. Shout out.
Yeah, it didn't just. Do you remember? You don't even remember his name. Shout out.
that's like
Peter
going on
Duffer.
stage.
Shout out.
No,
Cue
Peter,
the,
I think.
cue the mannequin challenge.
His last name
Shout
is
out.
Duffer.
That-
Mr. Duffer.
That's
Black
like,
Beatles.
You know, that's
Isn't
like,
that
oh,
the
do you want to say
mannequin
anything? Like, you want to shout anybody out today? You're just like, shout out. Yeah, okay, sweet. You can cut it there.
Yeah, we cut
I
out.
didn't know
We
if I
cut
should
out.
have said his name.
Why?
Well, if he hears
Shout out,
this,
Mr. Duffer. We're
Or
friends on
Duffer?
Facebook. What's up? Anyway.
yeah. Well, Mr. Duffer, if you were saying what I was saying,
he always
then
used
you're
to
a
say
smart
nothing
guy.
is free. Yeah, that's
It's
all he
not.
would say.
That's
all he
why.
would say.
That's
Nothing
why.
is free.
That's why I get in so many. That's why I get. I try not to get in arguments anymore
It's a
with
slow
people.
day for me.
Actually, no. Going to a casino is free. After that, it's not.
That's the only thing that's free. Free money. That's
free money.
For
You're
casinos
not
are
betting
free
real money. It's just digital
Casino
cash.
is actually free money because I always win. So that's a
Exactly.
different story. But by and large, yeah, there's no such thing. Nothing's free. I wish
Yeah.
there was. If there was, I would have figured out a way to tap into that. But
Totally. Do you think there's anything else that like people come? There's so many questions I feel like I get on like a consistent basis
yeah.
that are like commonly asked questions that I'm like, oh, you don't know.
Another
this?
thing.
What else?
Application fees. People know this, but like
Yes.
every place has their own application, and you have to
Yep.
pay your own set of application fees each time. Now, I think that
I just ran into this issue
like
big time.
I don't know what the solution is to that, because like theoretically every landlord has the right to choose how they want to process the applications, but like to me it's fundamentally wrong that like somebody could like why is like it's wrong that somebody could spend $100, $200, $300 on applications
Yeah.
and just keep throwing them at applications to
Yes.
see nothing in return.
Yeah,
like
I
that
agree.
that doesn't make any sense. So like
I think agents should just run their own client's credit and background and then just submit that to whatever place they're
the problem
applying.
is that I've found, and you can't, some places will allow that,
Yeah.
but the problem that I've found is that the landlords are like, no, like, I don't believe that.
What do you mean?
Or I don't
I'm
trust
literally-
They'd rather
like,
do it
how could-
themselves to
I
like
get
really
that.
verify it, which I understand. Like if it's my property, like
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do everything I can
Or-
to make
or
sure.
you can
I
run
don't
it-
know these people.
There's
Yeah.
some
You know?
domains where you can like run it with them on it, like as like an agent to landlord type.
True, but like, I don't know. And you got to remember some of these landlords are like these buildings. Like we only know the landlords, a lot of them that are like younger. Like imagine dealing with. I mean,
Oh boys, wait. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Like I just did a rental. This is maybe the second one ever that went this way. But like the guy, like the landlord there, like actually could not use technology. So the application was on paper.
And the lease,
was also on paper.
Yeah, they make you
and I had to like pick it up, drop it off, pick it up, drop it off. Which is like this. I'm saying this like it's freaking crazy, but it is crazy right now.
When you're trying to do. Yeah. Here's the thing about rentals. Rentals is a volume game.
Yeah.
You have to be doing a lot in order to make a living because these commission checks are not substantial. Obviously not. Keep opening your Lanai, whatever thing.
You want to see where a commission check goes to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Theirs goes to a Ninja Creamy, okay? So, enough.
But
no, that was free.
Did you actually, would you win it at Dave & Buster's?
No, you got it on Prime Day.
No, I got it on Prime Day, so I call that free.
It's essentially free. When did you buy it on Prime Day?
Well, that's like boy math.
What'd you say?
Boy math.
Boy math. Yeah, Prime Day's free. That's actually more probably girl math than guy math.
Well, girl math would
girl
be like
math is
if
like
it was
makeup. Like money.
If the Ninja Creamy was originally $20 or $200, right? And then on Prime Day it's like $150. That means I have $50 to spend now.
That's crazy to even think about it like that.
It's so dumb.
I look at it like, I'm saving $50. Like I'm saving 50.
That means that $50 it was gonna go anyway. So like I just might as well use it.
You've mentally already spent.
That's like justifying. Like I like spending on. I'm just gonna keep justifying every purchase I make.
Assets over liabilities, but a Ninja Creamy is an asset. So
it is you need it in real estate.
This is a liability apparently.
That's 100% a liability.
Look how tiny that thing is.
Yeah, that's a liability.
That's a sip of
No,
water.
I'm kidding. They're all liabilities. Ninja Creamies, fucking.
No, I am now the only REKAP group member without a Ninja Creamy, and I feel like I need to hop on the trend. But I'm an avid ice cream eater, so I like real ice cream.
I don't make.
I'm just gonna eat it. You know, if I want it, that's what I'm gonna have, and they can have their little protein.
The problem with the Ninja Creamies, it sounds like you're sending a spaceship up to the moon.
I do it late at night too. So I live with roommates, mom and dad.
Mom and dad.
And I do it like late at night because I get home if I'm working late, which I tend to work late.
I'm working late.
I
know.
I
that
go to the
song.
gym after,
It's a
and
good
then
song.
I come home and I make the Ninja Creamy, and it's like midnight, 12:30.
Midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I get home late. I live over an hour away, and I like to work out after I work.
Okay.
I know.
And then I eat dinner at like
late?
9:30, and then like by the time I shower, I'm
Gordy's nightly routine: get home from the gym at 11, Ninja Creamy 11:30, drums at noon, drums at midnight. 12:30. What's 12:30? What do you got at 12:30?
12:30. I like
guitar lessons.
No, reading. I like to read before I head to bed.
See that to me, it's like the reading is fine. The other, the Ninja Creamy, you're gonna wake everybody up.
You know,
I wish I didn't have to sleep. If I could just run on a 24-hour day, I'd accomplish so much.
Have you ever used that little reading light I got you?
I use it every night.
Really?
That's what I use. I use it on an orange setting.
I just bought it for myself because the reason I've been reading like before bed.
You know how to read?
Like.
What are you reading? The prices for my makeup?
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
One fish, two fish. Oh my
I'm
god!
start crying.
This like Fenty makeup. Oh my god!
She's reading
this like Kim Kardashian
what do all the chicks read? Colleen Hoover.
No, I don't read those books.
Oh jeez, dude, I don't even know what they're about.
I read the books you freaking recommend to me.
Dab me up, let's go. I recant everything I just said.
Did you see that? That
was the worst dab of all time.
It's because I have this freaking microphone.
That was like you know what? Don't even finish it.
He was like, ugh. I was like, okay.
No.
She reads the Twilight series.
No, but no. The problem I'm having with reading before bed. So the lights are on, right? Like I can't read with the lights off.
Well, that would make sense.
Wait. What? Did you just explain that to us? Like, we're talking about common sense stuff in real estate. This is common sense. Like, you're acting like nobody
You don't know anything.
You can't read
I have
with
to
lights
specify
on?
for you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She sleeps upside down.
Okay.
Are you the only one that reads with lights on?
Okay, wait. Stop. The problem is like your body, like your internal clock with the lights on, like doesn't go to bed.
It's not
so
true.
like I'll read and then like I'll get up to turn the lights off and I'm like still awake. So I just got the little night light thing to put in my book so that it's still like nighttime in my room.
I just turn off. I actually don't even fall asleep. Like there's an off switch on me that I just shut off.
I need it dark in my room. I don't need it like some people are like crazy about that.
Though
Like
the
they need
blackout
like
curtains?
blackout. I don't care about that.
No.
But it can't be. The lights can't be on.
I don't have the lights on. I just have the little reading light on.
Lights on, nobody's
Yeah,
home.
I bought them reading lights for what?
I
Like
use it.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
maybe.
Yeah, I bought them little reading.
But I love
lights.
it. I love reading.
Oh, I remember the gifts I got you guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can't say it on the podcast, but
Guest on.
if you want to know, just shoot me a text.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Maybe, depending on who you are.
But I don't know. What other questions you?
Maybe
got?
we'll do one more thing.
Yeah,
Gordy,
I think
finish
there's-
us off.
yeah,
I
Bring
got
us to
one.
the promised land.
I'll take us home. So when you're looking to buy like a multifamily, something that you should know is you have to get pre-approved usually before you go into it. You can't just like
Or any expensive.
Correct.
Any
Yeah.
expensive.
any
real
expensive
estate.
property. You can't just like walk in and be like, oh, we're just gonna go browse it today. Like no, like you have to be pre-approved. Like they need to know you're a well-qualified buyer and that you're actually interested in it. So
Yeah.
it's something you should know before going into it because I think a lot of people, like you said, kind of watch TikTok. Like, oh, I'll just go browse properties today. Like I'm
Yeah.
shopping on Prime Day. Doesn't work like that, buddy.
Yep. I wish it did. No, I agree. I mean, for me, I won't even really probably, unless I really know you or know the referral source you're coming from, I won't even take you on showings unless I have some sort of proof of funds or pre-approval.
Like know this.
And then again, like I don't say this to come off as like.
But I think a lot of agents operate. Like I think
I don't-
99%
Well,
of
when I
agents
first
operate like
started,
that.
like you get so excited to get a client, like oh my god, but you start realizing just because you have a client doesn't mean you have a deal. And
Exactly.
you know, I'm in
What is
business.
don't count your chickens before they're hatched?
Yeah, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Don't count your eggs before they
Eggs
hatch.
before they hatch? Ooh, that's a. I forget
Yeah,
that
and
one.
like you know, we're all in business here, and as much as I want to help people, like there are a lot of people who, and I don't think they're intentionally wasting your time. I think they just don't.
They don't know exactly what
When
they
you're
want.
when you're not paying somebody up front, there's no like what's the incentive for them to not waste your time?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like you want to go to talk to an attorney. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna bill you by the hour.
Yeah.
You're gonna make sure that hour or those
Is
2
worth
hours
it.
is worth it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get everything that you need to get in that time. When you're with a real estate agent, they're not getting paid until the deal's done. So like run them around. I don't know, like take them as much. So it's like as much as that is part of the job and what you sign up for. I also have to be cognizant of that. We have to be cognizant of that and limit, you know, how many people that we bring on that are just going to.
I think we used to let that happen a lot.
For
Well,
sure.
Yeah, you did a lot. I think we did a lot in the beginning.
It's a natural thing when
I
at the
feel like I
beginning.
did up until maybe even a couple weeks ago, or maybe a couple
well,
months ago.
Yeah, but because now that you
Because-
signed the disclosures, it's kind of like
Yeah.
now we know who's more serious and who's still trying to figure out, hey, is this, you know, a smart investment for me or is this worth it? Like, do I really need to get this apartment or something?
Because at the
Start
start, you're so new. You want people to like you.
Yeah.
You want your business to go well. So you feel like telling somebody no or like
Yeah.
telling somebody this is what you need to do when you're not even confident that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's a tough position. But once you get past that point, you start developing a little bit of confidence and have a little bit of a track record. Like I'm confident that pretty much 95% of the people that I'll actively work with are people that are serious about doing business with me. They're not coming to work. And if they're not, that's fine. I'm happy to give people the time. Like I love talking with especially younger people and like getting on calls with them and, you know, telling them about what I've done and what I can, like what they maybe should be doing in their situation based on their goals. But that's a different approach than being like, yeah, I want to go buy investment property and be your client. It's like, okay, that's fine. But like, what kind of like, do you have any money to even be doing
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like, do you have?
I literally there's been instances where like I'll work this. It doesn't happen often, but like for example, like I was working with this rental client and like we were looking and then like first of all I disclosed prior to everything like about application fees and all the fees that go into moving. I mean, you know, that's like the least fun part about moving. Regardless, I always disclose that from the beginning just so people are aware that like they have to be prepared so that we're not like scrambling for money when the time comes to apply and things like that. So time came to apply and they were like, well, I don't have that. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We talked about this like 2 weeks ago. And they were like, well, no. And I don't want to do it. And I was like,
Okay.
well, you have to
Yeah.
apply to get a property. And it was like very like kind of an awkward conversation where I was like, what can I do for you? Because I'm not going to pay for your application fee.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like I think people need to come in with like real, like they come in and they're like, yeah, like I can do this and I can afford that and this. Time comes and they're like, oh wait, like, oh, I didn't realize it took this.
Yeah.
You also have to have this. My credit score needs to be this. And like it all comes together. And I think people don't really understand what it takes to like just rent a like just renting. And I'm just talking about renting right now, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's an important thing. I do, you know what I do a lot with my clients? I mean, I've done tons of rentals this summer, so I've been focusing on that. But when we have like time in between showings, I'm like, hey, why don't we pop into our coffee shop, sit down, we can kind of go through your search, go through like, you know, max budget, kind of like what you're looking at. And they like, when you sit down with them, they're like, everything clicks. We're like, okay, this is the target. This is the goal. You know, it's more specific instead of me just browsing around and we're just, you know, I'm not wasting time. I just, for lack of a better term, I guess you could just say it's like
so much of it is just setting expectations. Like no matter what, even if a client comes in and is like, yeah, I want to buy an investment property and they waste my time, that's my fault. It's not their fault.
No.
That's my fault because I didn't do my due diligence or didn't explain something clear enough or, you know, whatever it is. And that's the tough part. Like, that's the mindset that you have to have if you actually want to be able to run a successful business, because the second you say, well, it's somebody else's fault, well, now you have no control over it. You're screwed. You're pretty much
But that's how we
done.
learned all the tips and tricks. Like, you know, I would never have known, like, going into, if you want to buy a multifamily, you know, spot, that you need to be pre-approved going into it. I would never have known that.
Yeah.
But now you know that. Now you have that professional information, that knowledge that you can give to people. It's like anything else in the condo buildings.
Exactly.
Like, who would have known that construction?
Yeah.
Nobody
I feel like
would
there's
have.
tons of other things that
Oh,
most
there's
people
so
don't
many
know about,
things.
and maybe I don't even know about yet, that go into a lot of these things, and specific to Chicago things too. Just because there's so many rules, regulations, and
if you have any questions that pop up at any time, this is, like I said, I know I talked a little bit about wasting time, but like shooting us the text or a call or an email or whatever.
Yeah, reach out whenever.
About like a question, like we love to help.
It's not a bother at all.
I think I learn sometimes when people ask me questions. Like they'll ask me questions that I'm like, oh, like I know, but let me like actually look more into it to be like 100% confident. And then I'll give them an answer.
Yeah.
And then now I know.
Exactly.
So,
it helps us too. It's a win-win. So yeah, don't ever feel like you're bugging us to reach out about any sort of questions, because that's what our jobs are.
Completely.
To be helpful to you. So
totally. I can't really think of anything else right now.
I can't either, and I think we're running pretty good on time.
Yeah.
So
the Oscar Mayer Wiener truck fell over.
Oh, did it actually?
It did, on the highway.
Can we have a moment of silence?
Wait, how do you know?
I saw a video.
Just now?
No, it happened a few days ago, but the guy was like calling to file like a report. Like, what do you even explain that? Yes, the giant wiener truck is tipped over on the highway. Bad luck for Chicago. Real bad luck for the city.
Moment of silence. That's not a very good moment of silence.
Do you understand how historic this truck is?
Yeah.
Is there only one?
You know, like that commercial of the Keys, like, I want to be an Oscar Mayer Wiener. Yeah. You know that? Like,
of
you ever
course.
see that?
But that was a horrible moment of silence. But anyways, maybe we're better at being real estate agents than moments of silence. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Episode 14 in the books. One foe.
One foe.
And as always, we love you.
Love you
ya.
guys.